fans, friends, and enemies. My name is Mr. Bubbles, and today we're going to be surgeons. We're going to be doing surgery for Mr. Bob, but before I show you his case, we need to introduce you to all of his organs that we're going to be putting inside of him, except his skin. His skin he already has. His parents are crying. It's up to us to save him. Let's get ready. All right, let's show you all the organs. First organ we're going to show you is the femur. The femur is the largest bone in the body, I think. So, the femur is the bone that's connected to your hip bone, and it helps you walk. Let me show you that real up close. Okay, there's the femur. Let's put it up there. Now, in case you're wondering, this set is called Squishy Human Body. You can get it off Amazon, eBay, Craigslist, and all other shopping online things, or you can just get it at the store. I'm not sure if you can get it at the store. I never found it there. Next, we have the foot muscle. The foot hand. The hand, the bone of the hand or something. The hand bone. The bone hand, I don't know, but it's a hand. Hand made out of bones. Next up is our leg of the bone. Foot. This is our foot. A foot has 26 bones, and each of your foot has 26 bones, and it helps you walk. Your hand helps you do other stuff like picking your nose or writing. Next up is our tibula and fibula. The tibula and fibula are kind of like your knee joints. When you move your knee, the tibula and fibula help you. Next up is the shoulders, spine, and hips. The most important parts of your body. If you broke your spine, you would die or never walk again in your life. Hooray! Your hips are connected to remember the femur? And when you walk, you go like this. Kind of like that. And your back is straight. Make sure you sit on your back. These are your shoulder blades. They're sharp. Hey. Next up is our leg muscle. Look at these beautiful leg muscles. They got veins going through them. They look so strong. This guy looks like a turkey over here. Next, we have... I can't remember if I did the arm muscle, but let's just do it. Your arm muscle helps you move your arm, really. Now, your arm muscle is really important because if you didn't have them, you would just be a pile of bones. And this guy is so muscular. He picks up 50-pound weights every single day, unlike me. Next up is the ribs, the rib cage. Now, the rib cage protects your heart and lungs. And it's kind of like a prison. We're stuck at the joint, yeah, us, the heart and the lungs. They're kind of like in a prison, protected from anything from the outside. All right, next up, our next bone is called the humerus. This guy tells jokes every single day. Knock, knock. Who's there? I smell mop. I smell my poo. You said I smell my poo! Oh, be quiet, humorous. Cringe. Alright. Next up is the skull face. Subscribe to my channel, or I will find your house and kill you. Shh, be quiet. You should never threaten somebody to like and subscribe. I don't care. I'm breaking the laws of physics. Alright, let's get over to this guy. This guy is kind of like your face, and he tells you what to do, It's kind of like the one who... You brush your teeth really well. It's kind of the thing on your face and your nose and stuff like that. Next up is like where the brain sits. This is kind of like the brain's hot tub. He always sits in here and relaxes. Your brain sometimes goes through stressful times and the water's too cold. That's when you get stressed, guys. That's how you get stressed. Just kidding. Never believe that. This is your skull cap to protect your brain. It's kind of like this. Now, before I show you the skull cap and the brain, I want to show you something with them. First, I'm going to show you your radius and ulna. Your radius and ulna are in your arm, and they help you pick up stuff. So, yeah, pretty cool, huh? Alright, so It's the brain war. All the organs are having a war. Oh, the brain gets shot in the head. Oh, what an injury. What an injury. It's a catastrophe. But check this out. Brain number 2 here has a helmet, a skull cap. He got shot in the head and missed. He makes it to the other side. Independence and freedom. Awkward silence. All right. Now, as I was saying about that, rib cage, let me show you what it looks like. The heart and the lungs. We're stuck at the joint, lost inside of the rib cage. This is where the heart. I pump blood all through your body to make sure you're getting your oxygen. So that's what it does. And over here are the lungs, and they pump oxygen. They give oxygen to the blood so you can live. Because if you didn't live, then I have no idea what you're doing watching this video. All right, next up, your esophagus and your windpipe and your voice box. Now, your esophagus is technically how you talk. No, that's not how you talk. Your esophagus is like your throat, kind of your throat. After the throat is the esophagus. And what the esophagus does is it digests food down into your stomach. But then there's the windpipe. You know when you've ever choked on water and you started coughing? Well, it goes down the wrong pipe. It goes down here, and instead of going down this little thing, it goes through these two into your lungs. And then you start coughing back up, and then it goes back down through the right pipe. And when you eat food, there's this little hatch that closes and opens that allows the food to go down normally. And when you breathe, the thing opens for air to come out. Your voice box is also here. That's why when you talk, your voice vibrates. If you put your head right next to your neck, as you talk, you can hear yourself vibrating because of your voice box. Next up is the diaphragm. The diaphragm is a strong muscle under your lungs that deflates and inflates your lungs. So it's kind of like this, kind of like your lungs are up here and your diaphragm is like here. It's like, and it helps your lungs inflate and deflate. So the more you run, the stronger your diaphragm is, and that's why people who've ran longer than you people who have had more experience running can run faster than you because their diaphragm is way stronger than yours. Next, we have our stomach. Now, I have a big stomach. Depending on how much you eat every single day is the size of your stomach. Your stomach stretches depending on your diet and how you eat. Now, the stomach creates this kind of acid called hydrochloric acid, which burns the food after it comes down your esophagus. So it should kind of look like this. Like this. See? Or like this. I'm not sure which one's the exit or the entrance. But, yeah, it's kind of like this. And it has hydrochloric acid and it burns it. Have you ever, it doesn't necessarily burn the food, just kind of grinds it like the grinder. All right, so that's the stomach. Next up, one more thing. If you throw up, your throat kind of burns, right? That's because of the hydrochloric acid. And when you throw up, your food is kind of chunky. Well, that's because of the high hydrochloric acid. It didn't burn all of the food, but it burned most of it. That's why it's kind of watery. Next up is, of course, our liver. The TSA of your body. This thing makes sure no bad stuff get inside and only good stuff enters, but it doesn't always work like that. Sometimes it fails, and liver failure can be dangerous. The food goes through the small intestine, gets the nutrients. It goes through the liver. The liver takes the good stuff and takes it up into the bloodstream. The liver takes the bad stuff and throws it out through the hatch we all know as the toilet. Next up is most of our digestive system here. Our small and large intestine. Our large intestine take out the trash, the leftover, that's really brown and sometimes can be watery. And sometimes it can get stuck between your cheeks. But the small intestine, what they do is they have these tiny hairs that pick up the nutrients and take it straight to the liver. The liver checks it and makes sure it's good. After it's good, they send it to the heart. The heart picks up all of that and sends it throughout the body. Before it sends it throughout the body, it gets oxygen from the lungs. and the heart pumps everything throughout the body. And as it's pumping, this job comes up. The final job. The kidneys and the bladder. So after it goes through, your kidneys filter your blood. It's kind of like a filter system. Have you ever filtered out like dirt from water or something? Well, that's what they do. So you must drink plenty of water for these things to work, or else you'll get kidney failure. In life, kids, you'll learn that not everything is nice. Here. So the two kidneys, they take the water, they take all the extra salt, extra sodium, and all the extra stuff. That's why if you taste it in your pee, it's salty, like me. And they send it to your bladder. Halfway full, you get the urge to go. Oh no! That's when you ask your math teacher, "Can I go?" Unless you just don't want to miss the test or something. And the teacher's like, "No." And then it goes away because it's not full. But then when it gets really full, all the way full, you get the real urge to go. And you could still hold it and your bladder will expand. It'll start expanding and expanding until you release it down the hatch. And sometimes, if you hold your pee for a lot of time, your bladder could explode. But that's really rare. Or you can't control your pee anymore because of an illness you get. Alright guys, that's part 1. Come back and watch part 2. Bye-bye!